On the way back, I discovered that there were some hidden items over here. There is a big mushroom right south of the entrance to, or rather the way onto Route 17, past the Pokemon Ranger, and over here is a pearl, not a garnet or amethyst. I did battle the other two trainers on the route, and I'm just going to be skipping ahead after this, because I don't think you guys want to see me do any more annoying battles. David, you're not supposed to fall in love with the enemy. They're the enemy. The enemy! Okay, at least we both got RNG hacks this turn. I just kind of cut away because I like showing that infatuation whenever it happens, just using that little joke. And yes, we got the hacks. Whitney could not hack me, and you cannot hack me either. Ha! It's kind of surprised to see this thing had Q-Charm, not Technician, or whatever his other ability is. Zip? Oh yeah, Zip Strike is a thing. I guess I should be going into a bit more detail on my reasoning for not going over Larvesta. Point blank, the thing is extremely weak. It has very low stats, especially for how late in the game we are. And it does not evolve until after you beat the game. It evolves at what amounts to level 60. That is a bit ridiculous for a major Pokemon, and I've used a Pokemon that evolved in post-game before, but for as big as Unova's post-game is, which actually it is quite expansive, it's nowhere near as big as that previous game. So I don't really think it's that feasible to be able to bond with a Pokemon that you pretty much only get fully evolved towards the end of post-game. I mean, you can get it relatively quick in post-game. It's not like it's terribly far into post-game, but there's nowhere near as much to do in this game's post-game as there is, say, that previous game's post-game, which was kind of absurd. And come on, you... Okay, so you RNG hacks me, but not in the way I was expecting you to RNG hacks me. Alright, it looks like I'm going to have to heal up. I did not expect this Pokemon Ranger to actually give me that much of a hard time, but I guess that's what I get for not bringing most of my team. So Strike pretty thoroughly dismantles a good portion of my team just because that's Flame Charge, which counters my standard good answer to Electric-type Pokemon in David. It also helps cancel a bit out with Mogera, so... It actually was a very tactical decision to bring Zebstrika. Tactical Zebra. There you go, there's the title of the video, Tactical Zebra. Yeah, you don't really do that much damage to me, but you get obnoxious with your speed boosts. It is a very good thing you do not learn Electro Ball. Yeah, it is a very good thing you do not learn Electro Ball, because that would be kind of obnoxious. And David's going up in the levels. He is getting speedy. I have not crossed the finish line of victory. You sound like very bad Japanese broken 80s English game. And yes, I'm aware of what I just did right there. Persian Berry. Well, I guess I am confused about some of the things you said, so that does make sense. Run in cities and on mountain paths. Run and feel the world around you with your whole being. Okay, hippie. What? That's something a hippie would say. But I think we should actually go the different route. Actually, no, we'll be going on the different route of Route 17 after we get that egg. Its ability is going to be Flame Body, which can help hatching other eggs if you so choose to hatch eggs, but we're pretty late in the game, and I generally say we are beyond what I would call the point of return, the point of no return for getting teammates. There's a couple of Pokemon coming up that I can say definitely are interesting options to consider to add to your team, but I wouldn't say that we are that far away from, you know, having them be super powerhouses. They generally will take some time to get going, as we saw with Mienfoo and Mienshao. Mienshao is almost unreachable as an evolution without an absurd amount of grinding, and there's a couple of Pokemon that are going to end up with the same fate, and I'm not generally a fan of that. But now you can see why we needed strength, because we are encountering some big blocks. And we're going to be having Eyesore do some helpful things. Why? Because he is an eyesore, rather. She is an eyesore, and she deserves to actually be helping us. For once, Watchog will actually be doing good things in the world rather than just being beaten up for experience. They will be moving blocks out of the way so that we may also gain more experience. So in a way, they're just gaining experience for us. Yep. Eyesore's strength. I didn't realize how funny that would be until I actually read it. That's great. I tend to like giving kind of silly nicknames to HM users just because it's fun to see just blank 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 things. Whatever move. You are a very high... I didn't reapply Repel. Great. I was gonna say, there's no way a level 28 Pokemon is a higher level than anything else we have in the team. But yeah, there's a couple of interesting Pokemon here. You can actually find Wild Crustle, which, if you wanted a Crustle, or you rather just wanted a Dwebble and didn't really want to struggle around with a Dwebble for a while, but wanted a Crustle, it's a pretty good option to get one right now. But again, as I said, we're kind of at a point where we're closing in on the end game. Pretty much everything from here on out is just going to be very high level to evolve, or pretty much just evolved form of Pokemon we've had access to for a while. I do like this, and I think that this game does a lot of things very well. I like how they use HMs. In my opinion, the usage of HMs in this game is how HMs should always have been. You do not need to use HMs to beat this game, aside from one instance. That is an initial use of the move Cut, right outside the Striaton City gym in the Dream Yard. All of this is completely optional, and I love that. It is, in my opinion, how they should be doing HMs. I'm not opposed to field moves. I like the way they have done things in more recent games where you have effectively HMs with things like the Rotom Bike or Pokemon Rides, where you're pretty much doing the exact same thing as before, but they're not actually HMs. Because in the grand scheme of things, HMs are just bad. The only good HMs are pretty much Surf, and one we're actually going to be getting rather soon, only because those are the only HM moves that have a competent amount of power behind them. If moves like Rock Smash, Strength, and even, say, Flash were just, okay, Flash isn't really an HM, or Cut was just a better move, say, higher base power, maybe a really good special effect, they could be legitimately good and powerful moves in competitive, as we have seen with moves like Surf. Surf is just really powerful. And also, there's an item right here. What is this item? We have a Calcium. Okay. There's a lot of items on this route, or rather these two routes. I am not going to go over all of them, because there's just that many. We would probably be here for about an hour, and we also found HM05 Waterfall. This was the other HM I was hinting at. That was one of the only good HMs. Very powerful, physical water move, 80 base power, has a chance of flinch. Really, really great. You see this on competitive Pokemon a lot, especially as physical water types. There's even some non-water type Pokemon capable of learning it. So it is a very hilarious strategy a person I know said a friend of his came up with for defeating a certain annoying Pokemon who is immune to water moves by weather. But yeah, there's a lot of fun things you can do, and also Repels were off. But yeah, Waterfall is a great move, and I would say if you have a physical water type, you have a Samurott, I would say teach Waterfall to it immediately. The only other physical water move I can say that would be good on it is Aqua Jet, and Aqua Jet's just a good priority move in general that I would say anything that has a good physical attacking stat and is a water type should use. We're also going to meet a class of trainer we haven't encountered yet. On a small rise of land, you and I face each other. I mean, we are facing one another right now. We have Veterans. He did not serve in the Unovan military, but rather he is a very seasoned trainer. I never really understood that name of veteran because I'd only ever heard the term veteran applied to, military servicemen. So whenever I heard someone say, oh, they're a veteran this or a veteran that, I thought they have that in the army? And when I first saw that in Pokemon, I was like, there's a military in Pokemon? Wow. You hit very hard for an annoying little fish. Please die. I like seafood. Sue me. Actually don't, because I know some people are going to take that out of context and actually try doing that, because the world today doesn't have any common sense or sarcasm, which makes me sad. Oh, I don't have anything for Darmanitan. Isart, I hope you enjoy getting roasted. This went from bad to worse. I should probably not be carrying around this Larvesta egg. This is going to cause me a lot of very bad scenarios, and I am glad that I actually have some healing items to revive the almighty Swoop. That was very bad. Oh boy. That's not good. I don't feel bad for Isoar, because we can still use your strength even though you're unconscious. Wow, you did barely anything in recoil damage there. You should feel ashamed of yourself. Also, is it just me, or does it look like Darmanitan is winking at me? Like, its eye on the other side is, maybe its right side, it looks like it's like squeezed shut. It's winking at me! It looks like it's winking! I don't know if this X's gonna KO, because I think we might... Yeah, we technically are in defeatist. Yikes. That just shows how glass we are and how strong Darmanitan is. This was not a well thought out strategy on my part, or even not even a strategy at all. This is very bad. This is very bad. And also, I probably should just send out Charon to Electro Ball. Okay, good. We fainted the thing. We fainted the big fire monkey of doom. Okay, things are slightly more salvageable. And my voice is cracked. You know things always get bad when the speaker's voice cracks. Hopefully the Simi Sage will be pretty easy for us to beat. After that, I'm going and healing, because I don't want to get fainted by anything that is this silly. Okay, so I was right. This lady over here, she will heal your Pokemon if they are damaged, and... Welcome to another Item Maniac. And in my opinion, the most useless Item Maniac. What's up? Did you find something cool for me? Nope, nothing cool in your bag. Oh well, maybe next time. This guy wants rare bones. He will only buy rare bones. Why would you come out here to sell a rare bone? But back to the route. There are a lot of items in here, and I would definitely recommend just have your dowsing machine out, and you'll find something. Look, as you see, the thing is going freaking nuts right now. I do wonder how we get to that other end of the... Actually, I do wonder what the bubbling spot is. I think the bubbling spot is just it gives Jellicent, or it has a chance of giving a Jellicent. Because Alright, that's what we get a little Momola, which... Screw you. Because you don't really have a lot of level. I do wonder how we get to that second area. I will admit, I don't really remember this route that much. Truth be told, I didn't really used to come on this route when I did practice things. I just looked things up. Okay, so I think that we have to go in an alternative way to get here, and that's how we get there. But we will be surfing more along this route, because there are a lot of interesting things on this route. And I would say if you skip this route in just looking for things, you're going to regret it. Okay, so I think that we need to go on this one. Jump over here, jump on there, go this way, down that way, and bloop, bloop, and... Alright, I was right. We are at the... Okay, so it doesn't exactly say what it is. Alright, I'll have to go manually say you guys for it. Say it for you guys, I can't speak correctly at all. Welcome to the P2 Laboratory. This is Team Plasma's secret lab located on a quiet little island. There is actually some interesting little trivia about this island. And actually it has nothing to do with Pokemon. The trivia is, the P2 lab is similar in name to the Propaganda Do, which is known as the P2 Lodge, a secret Masonic lodge in Italy that is implicated in numerous Italian crimes and mysteries. For this reason, Italian versions of the game renamed this place to the Laboratorio P&P, and the Spanish versions changed it to Laboratorio P+P. I probably mispronounced both those words horribly, but that's because I don't speak Italian despite being half Italian myself, and not speaking Spanish despite all of my friends in high school taking Spanish. But yeah, the place is a bit interesting in that it has a similar name to something in real life that was kind of controversial, so they just changed the name. And we have, speaking of controversial things, a quite dubious little disc right here. This is completely useless to us. Why? Because the thing that it uses, that evolves with it, is not accessible to us right now. And I like how this place just kind of looks like a mad scientist workshop. The repels effect. I was like, I clicked on the thing, it's like, oh, it says the repel. So the thing says the repels effect are off. It looks like there's just a bunch of wires, or I would be tempted to say these are film reel looking things, but I know that we do not live in an era where film has reels anymore. These are very, like, just cables and wires. I gotta say, I like this place. It's got a nice little aesthetic to it. And just that it looks like a typical mad scientist workshop. There's a memo stuck in the side of the monitor. Read it? Sure. My Lord N apparently rejected my research. But my research is necessary for Team Plasma to reach its goal, the strongest Pokemon. The rest of the memo is torn and impossible to read. Well, it's probably better than the other thing that those crazy lunatics at Kanto were cooking up. What? It's gotta be better than a giant mutant bipedal cat-looking thing. But yeah, that's really all there is in the P2 Laboratory, at least internally of the P2 Laboratory. You get a little bit south, and you get a Pokemon battle. But you also find rather ominous music plays. The more I fight along with my Pokemon, the happier I will be. It actually doesn't really sound like an ominous thing to say. I mean, that's just how people in Pokemon interact with one another. Also, you like a Garbodor. You know what? I'm not gonna be mean to you, dude. You go on. You make friends with that Garbodor. X attack. Your move pool is completely terrible. You pretty much don't get any physical poison moves aside from Gunk Shot. And there is no way you get Gunk Shot this early. I think anyway. Clear Smog. Wait. Okay. Clear Smog removes my stat changes. Okay, I was wondering because Clear Smog removes stat changes. I was like, why would you use a move that removes stat changes when you just buffed your own stats? No, they buff their own stats, but didn't do anything to that which may have me boost mine? That's strange. Okay, so you know, Body Slam might actually hurt a bit. What is with the secondary effects? Alright, just go for Electro Web. Well, at least we can't get poisoned, and also this will probably do a bit less damage because you don't really have good special attacks. But I actually did a decent amount of damage. And just so I don't have any illusions we're gonna be fast on this thing because we might be fast, but we have half speed, and I don't think our speed is naturally double that of Garbodor or a little more. Yeah, I had no illusions about that. Jeez, we are just... I was gonna say, we probably got anything, but nope, we didn't. But I don't think we have anything to cure that paralysis, which might be problematic. So speaking of paralysis, the thing I am thinking about getting, I think, is right over here. I lost, but I'm happy because I've learned a few new things. Yeah, that doesn't mean this. I was mean about this guy. He doesn't have anything ominous to do. Thinking about being happy and making happiness a reality. This is also science. You know what? I should not have been mean with my way of speaking before. That was just a nice thing to say. We got TM24 Thunderbolt. Yep. This is a great move. Even if you don't really have any other... If you don't really have any other reason to come onto this route, you don't really want, say, Waterfall, because you don't really have any physical water types. The heart scales are kind of meaningless to you, like they are for me, where you're not really teaching these Pokemon. Larvesta is just something you don't care about and don't not want to get on your team because you're not using it. I think Thunderbolt on its own is more than enough to warrant a trip out here. Just because Thunderbolt is that good of a move. And if someone can learn Thunderbolt on your team, and at the very least has a competent special attack, you should probably teach it them. I'm not going to be teaching it, even after praising all those things, because my plan with Electro Ball will be dealing net more damage than Thunderbolt could do on its own. Wow, you actually brought me in there really easily, so I will have to avoid those rapids. I don't really know the way to navigate out of here. Can we go up? I don't think we can go above there. It might just pull me. Yep, it did. Okay, so how... I know how to do this. We just got to be patient, and patience is something I totally lack. Patience is a virtue, people always told me. My response was, it's a boring virtue. I would say I have 0 patience, but I have less than 0 patience somehow. This is some rocking music for a swimming dude, just saying. You just have like one of those speakers inside your swimming cap, whatever that thing is called, that's blaring rock music. Because if you do, I want to get one of those things while I go swimming. Alright, and back to navigating to shore. So I think that we could have just gone up onto that little rock and that would have just carried us all the way. Yeah, I do like the way this route is laid out in that you do have to explore it both ways. And you are kind of forced to come back this way. But that's another part about the route I don't like. You're kind of forced to backtrack fully if you want to explore everything. Because this route is massive. We spent all that time just exploring one, like, I'd say third of this route, maybe even a fourth, depending on some of the other areas. But I'm going to fly back to Accumula Town because I have to get more repels, because I really overestimated how much my repels would cover. So I will see you guys next time, where we continue on exploring Route 17 and 18. We made some good progress today, getting a useful TM and another useful HM, which we're not actually going to use.